This is the Sports Porch, Black and Gold, with your hosts, the technical director, the Grand Schwabini, and Hockey Jesus. Come on, Pittsburgh. Let's show a little Steelers, Penguins, and Pirates love. The Sports Porch Black and Gold starts now. Oh boy, the Sports Porch Black and Gold starts right now. And yes, it does. I am the technical director, your host, along with the Grand Schwabini coming from parts north of Pittsburgh. He likes to call it Fox Chapel. And Hockey Jesus, as always, coming to you from HJ Studios. I think I just coined a phrase there. In Greenfield, I am in the Monroeville basement, of course. And we are the Sports Porch Black and Gold. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button on YouTube. Then you'll know when you click that bell that we're live every single Monday night at 7 p.m. We also do a live show right after the Steelers game, a post-game live. And, of course, HJ over here, he does those HJ sermons after every Penguins game. There's our email up there. It'll be up there for a few seconds if you want to say hello, ogsportsporch@gmail.com. And I drop the podcast right after this show on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or anywhere you get your friggin' podcasts. And then we got Reels on TikTok and all that good stuff. So, hey, guys, post-game show yesterday went well. We got a lot of responses on YouTube. If you're on YouTube, chime up. We want to know what your opinion is. We've had a day for this win to sink in. We've heard from some key players. I'm sure you got some opinions. I put this up after the game. A classic in Baltimore. How do you feel? Now, Schwaber, you have an opinion on this. And so, I think this was a classic Steelers-Ravens game. It was classic.
I do not feel that it was classic at all.
Right. Okay.
It doesn't mean enough. If it's the last game of the season and it's for the playoffs, it's a classic. If it's a playoff game, it's a classic. I mean, it's not a classic. I mean, middle of the season, 7-6, 6-7. I mean, come on. It was a football game. 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock, your regular game.
No, I think you're misunderstanding what I'm saying. What I'm saying is it was a classic Steelers-Ravens game. Just like you thought it was over.
It came down to the end. Is that what you're saying?
Right. You thought it was over at halftime. Even you texted us early on and we're like, game over. Yes, I know what you're going to say. You were right. But it ended up being a lot closer than we thought it was going to be. You know what I said? You know what I mean?
Normally I do things like that. I feel like, give Steve a little love, let him know, like, trying to make him feel good, try to make him feel relaxed,
That's all that is?
Pretty much.
All right, it's HJ.
I saw right through that bullshit, by the way.
Hey, thanks to N Madison 144 for reposting the stream. We appreciate that.
All right,
yeah, absolutely.
Madison, sweet. We appreciate that as right. But yeah, Mark, you did tweet that out, or you did text that out pretty early, and I was like, I don't know, I don't have a feel for it. And then when the Ravens scored again, I was like, yeah, this is coming down to our offense scoring again. And as it turns out, they didn't score again, but
right.
They were able to at least keep them off the board. I went back and looked at that last chance they had at a touchdown. Did you notice they had a different angle of it from behind the play? He was not trying to throw to the tight end there. The tight end came in and tipped it. DeAndre Hopkins was wide open in the back of the end zone. And who's their tight end again?
Likely or Andrews.
No, it was Andrews. That's right. Andrews was like, "Oh man, I got to make a play," and he tried to jump up to get it, and he tipped it basically so that nobody could catch it. So there you go, Andrews with another great play to end the season for them. Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, this was a classic back and forth game. but it feels different, doesn't it? I mean, that's what a lot of, I heard, of course, we do our post-game show and we start paying attention to the media. And, I was listening to the radio this morning, as I always do, and the callers were calling in. And by the way, if you have a comment on this or an opinion, please drop it in the comments. We want to know. And you can always email us. I'll put the email back up there in a little bit, ogsportsports@gmail.com. But, I got the feeling from a lot of these callers that, and we talked about this post-game show, now the Tomlin defenders are going to come out of the woodwork, and it's almost as if week to week and season to season they swing back and forth. It's like a tennis match between them. I did not hear as many Tomlin supporters come out of the woodwork. I did hear one guy who was very, very passionate about Mike Tomlin, and everybody's entitled to their opinion, and there's no change in this guy's mind. But other than that, I heard a lot of, well, let's wait and see. Like, we have Miami coming into town. They are an average to below average football team who's been playing better.
And they won 4 in a row.
Yeah.
They're hot, man. They're hot. They're better than an average football team. They
do have weapons, right? They do have weapons. And one of the things I'm curious about, I don't know, Steve, if you can look this up, their defense. Let's take a look at their defense, because, this past game to me is a game where Artie Smith said, hey, look, guys, I can do all this too. It was kind of like there was so much pressure coming from the fans, the media, even the national media kind of started to jump a little bit on, not on the fire Tomlin bandwagon, but on the something's got to change bandwagon. And Aaron Rodgers mentioned in one of his media sessions before this game, when they asked him about the connection to DK, his exact words were, well, he gets a lot of doubles all the time, and it's a little hard to get open. It's what we've been talking about. So I feel like they piled on so much. It started to really pile on, and somebody inside that locker room, probably Aaron Rodgers, in my opinion, probably said, look, we got to do something about this, because you brought DK in here because he's got not for his catch and run. That's a bonus for him. He's a deep ball guy. That's what he did in Seattle. That's what he did. Tyler Lockett was their possession receiver, and DK was their deep ball guy. Now, he's not a great 50-50 guy, but he's the deep ball guy. And Rodgers said, we got to do it. And everybody's complaining. And you see where I'm going with this. I feel like that game was this. So I am not confident at all, that the game plan is going to be the same as it was. Well, I mean, every game plan's different, but that the game plan is going to expand from here. Because if you're going to progress, then you take this game plan that says, oh yeah, we can throw it deep. And you say, now we got to add our running game. Now we got to add our freaking tight ends. I'm not confident at all that I'm worried that we're going to fall right back into that old game plan, because it was a see, we can do it game. What do you guys think? You guys worried about that at all?
Well,
go ahead, Mark.
Well, I mean, I think everybody's worried about it. I mean, they haven't strung together 2 good games in a row in quite some time.
Right.
So everybody's worried about it. Look, we'll have to see. I mean, look, to me, it's just like flipping a coin, whether they come out next week and hand it to the Dolphins, or the Dolphins come in here and then we're all grumpy again.
Right.
It's just like a toss of the coin. I don't know what to expect. I don't know what I'm getting. I could be getting a pretty good football team. I could be getting a pretty bad football team.
Yeah.
I just don't really know.
Yeah. Would you say you got a pretty good football team yesterday?
Well, it's an interesting question, because I believe the Steelers were pretty much like outgained in every area except the scoreboard.
Yeah. I can. Well, not in passing yards. 284 to 203. As far as rushing, absolutely 217 to 34. But yeah, I mean,
it was a lot. Like I saw some thing today online where it was like, the Ravens had 1 million more first downs, all that kind of stuff.
Well, the Steelers defense was on the field for 77 plays.
Yeah.
Which is a lot. Is a lot. Yeah. So, yes.
I mean, here's what I would say is, believe it or not, yesterday's game sort of was the first time in a while where both sides of the ball played a solid game, so to speak. The defense only gave up 22, so they stood tall in certain situations while giving up a lot of yardage. And, the offense scored 27, and, used the deep ball more than they have in a long time, and mixed it up really well, made some good play calls. I mean, the play call to Jalen Warren on that screen pass for the touchdown was a great call.
Yeah, now, and he had Freiermuth open too. He could take your pick.
Right. So, I thought it was a game where, look what happens, when the offense and the defensive side of the ball, in some respects, play complementary football, it ends up being a win, right?
Yeah.
But it wasn't a game where usually what we're used to is, wow, the offense was horrible. Oh my gosh, the defense was horrible. But the other side of the ball played pretty well, So, I mean, we'll see. I'm interested to see if they can string a few together. They might.
I want to get these comments in here. Mike Lawrence over on YouTube. Thanks, man, for being here and following us over here. Not taking any away from DK's performance. It seemed like for a while, Artie Smith didn't realize we had any other receivers unless Rodgers was changing plays or routes at the line of scrimmage, which is a possibility. I mean, and we can get into the Thielen, Valdez, Scandling situation as well. Just Drink on YouTube has joined us. Thanks for being here. Hey, if that's what you want to do, just do it. Just do it. Just Drink. Assuming we beat the Dolphins, how close of a point differential would be concerning? I'm going to take a stab at that right now, assuming that you're going to hit that subscribe button, Just Drink, and click the notifications. There is no concern. If they beat the Dolphins, to me, this game is a W. I think if you're really looking for an answer on that from us. For me, if it was and this is going to be, out there, but if it was like a 9-7 game, that would be concerning because that obviously means that our offense completely laid an egg, completely. Our defense probably performed really well, but in this NFL, you don't win championships with defense. You win championships with offense and a defense that at the end of the game bends, doesn't break. That's my opinion. That's my opinion. So thanks for the question, Just Drink. You guys with me on that, or you got a different feeling?
No, I don't know about that. I mean, look at last year's Super Bowl. I would say defense won that Super Bowl.
Yeah, but they scored. I mean, they scored. It was on both sides of the ball. So I mean, you're right.
But that's what I would say is I think it's more both sides of the ball.
Yeah. Well, I'm talking more about like right now, it's more about the offense. I
mean, that's the way the game has been geared toward.
Right.
But at the same time, I find that usually whoever wins the Super Bowl has a pretty good defense.
Hey, gotta say hi to Derpy. He's back after watching us yesterday. Thanks, Derpy. Love that you're here. Keep coming back. Yep, keep coming back. Look, Hockey Jesus over here he's obviously watching a lot of stuff, and I'm not sure. Did you pull up Miami's defense at all?
Of course I did.
Okay, so what do we got going with their defense that we have to look forward to?
Well, there's a couple things that I'm looking at. I'm looking at how many points they gave up in their last few games. They
Right.
only gave up 10 points to the Jets, 17 to the Saints, 13 to the Commanders, only 13 points to the Bills.
Yeah.
In their last loss, they gave up 28 to the Ravens. But since then, they've been pretty good at keeping the offense out of the end zone. The other thing that I'm looking at is it looks like they're Midland as far as they give up a lot of yards. So they give up over 300, almost 350 yards per game. So it looks like they play, I hate to say this, but they play a lot like the Steelers do. They bend, but they don't break. They give up maybe a lot of field goals. They're not very good at sacking the quarterback. So it looks like, Rodgers might have some time to pick them apart. That would be good, but they're pretty good at hitting very hard and making you fumble. So it's a really interesting team, but they can score and they can score at will, and they like to score, of course, through the run, and that's going to be the big problem for the Steelers, I think, this week. They've got Devon Achane, of course, but they also have Jalen Wright, who's a super speedy back too. So that's a deadly 1-2 combination as far as I'm concerned. So if the Steelers don't fix things up on that defensive line, or find a way to plug those holes, or don't stop that cutback like the Bills were doing with their guy Cook.
They were running that perfectly with backups.
I think it's a big problem. The Dolphins are red hot. They've been scoring a lot of points. They've scored 34, 21, only 16 against the Commanders. And they had to get that field goal in overtime, but they scored 30 against the Bills. And the game before they lost to the Ravens, they scored 34 against the Falcons. So I think that this Dolphins team is better than people think they are. And it's because they had such a crappy start to the season. The only game they got blown out was their very first game of the year, where they lost 33-8 to the Colts. So I don't think they're that team anymore. They've really found a way to get to the run. And we all know the Steelers can't stop the run. So there could be some home run, runs for the Dolphins. I think if they can hold the Dolphins to, 5-yard runs at a time, I think they'll be fine. But if they give up that 60-yard touchdown run, I think they're going to be in big trouble. So it'll be very interesting, only because it's a Monday night game. Steelers Nation usually comes out pretty hard for Monday night games. I don't know why, but I started to look at the weather a little bit. It's supposed to be super cold over the weekend. So, and it looks like there might be some sleet or, some bad weather coming in. So that's good. That's good. That's a bonus for the Steelers. Now you can't really, who knows what's going to happen, especially with the field conditions, because we all know what can happen with the field down there at Acrisure. It can be a total mess, or maybe they'll have it shining. So I don't think their defense is anything to be worried about. I think it's their offense. So if you're asking me what I'm looking at this week, the defense is going to have to step it up, because I believe that the offense can get to 21, no problem. The defense, though, is going to have to stop them to field goals. So I think the difference will be, can we hold them to field goals and keep them out of the end zone? And I think the opposite is absolutely true with Miami. So I think it's a pick'em game. I'm sure Pat off track will know the line on this game, but I bet the Steelers are probably 3.5 point favorites. Maybe that might be too much.
That's what I would say 3 point favorites.
Yeah.
By the way, a little bit of breaking news out of Indy, flying in for a workout tomorrow. 44-year-old Phillip Rivers.
Yeah, Pat off track was going crazy on that in the chat. So
Yep. Good luck, Phil. All 38 of his kids must be grown.
He's well rested.
Listen, I don't even feel like, after that diatribe by Hockey Jesus up here, I don't feel like there's anything more to say about the Dolphins game. Honestly, I mean, I felt like I took a trip around the Parkway and back. I mean,
you're welcome. You're welcome.
The Dolphins.
Yeah, I'm not sure I'm thankful for that, but anyway. Yeah, I think you make some points there, and that's kind of where I was going. A-Chain, the A-Train, he's got 1,100 yards on the year already. He's averaging almost 6 yards a carry. That's a problem with 7 touchdowns, and he's only lost 1 fumble. So, once again, here we are left with a Baltimore team that did put up 217 yards. And if you're a Baltimore fan, should have won that game. And, now we got a running game coming in here where this guy can take it to the house, and now Tua is from a rating standpoint at 86. He's not having a great year. He is completing 67% of his passes, which isn't horrible. But at 185 yards a game, 18 TDs to 14 INTs, look, he can score. He can throw the ball. He can score. Waddle is having a pretty good year. I mean, as far as receptions go, not a ton, 57 with 800 yards. He does have 6 TDs. So you're right. They can score. They can score. We are going to have to score. And that is the problem that I'm seeing here. We have a run game on the other side of the ball that's not bad. It's pretty good. They are coming up here to play in the cold. That is an advantage for the Steelers. It seems to always be an advantage when you're playing Miami when they're in the cold. I'd love to see the record on that. I don't know if the Hockey Jesus is going to pull that up now. He seems so distracted all the time. Do you have like 50 screens in your studio now? Because Schwaber, doesn't it look like he's looking at like 30 different things?
I don't know. I don't know what he's doing over there. I'm not that concerned with it, though.
No. Are you sure?
No,
okay.
I'm not.
Okay. I'm wondering if he's even going to say anything now.
Well, I'm just waiting for you guys to shut the hell up. Because you ramble on and on and on and on and on and on. And I'm just like, I don't want to interrupt you. I'm trying to be kind, but when you give me the opportunity to speak, I'm going to utilize it in a very factual way. I'm only emotional when it comes to, Steelers wins and losses. Not so much about the analysis.
Here's Pat off track, on track for once. Steve was always distracted. Actually, I think that's off track. I think that was me that was always distracted.
Probably.
Okay. All right. So, this game is not going to be as easy as everybody penciled it in for. I think our defense, considering their backs were against the wall and it was a division game, played admirably. That interception by Eccles was awesome. It was good to see. And they kept us in the game when they needed to keep us in the game. But that running game, okay, Cam, it's time to step up to the plate. All right. You're in command in the NFC North. You're now in command of your own destiny, no matter what. Yes, winning 2 out of the next 4 is probably good enough, but maybe not. 3 out of the next 4, definitely. This guy, the 4TL Music Group, I don't know, the Fortal Music Group. I don't know. I apologize.
It's a music group.
Guys does. Okay, thank you. I'm ancient. Guys, does Ramsey go back to corner when Elliott comes back soon?
Is he coming back soon?
No, I don't think so. I don't think Elliott is coming back soon.
Yeah, I was thinking he might not even be back for the playoffs if they make it.
Yeah, I'm looking for something now. If you want to answer that question, let's pretend, just for the sake of the question, that he is coming back. Do you think they'd move Ramsey back to corner?
I don't think so. I think they like him where he's at right now.
Yeah.
Plus, you got JPJ, and then you got the combination of Eccles and Pierre. So I think they're fine.
I agree with you. I think they're fine when it comes to that. I wouldn't mess up what's going on in that backfield right now. I think Eccles is playing great, and Pierre's been playing great all year. So I wouldn't mess with that. Now that they got Slay out of the mix, I think they're a much better team. Maybe not. Slay's certainly a talented individual, but he's just too old, and it's a good reason they got rid of him. I actually have I actually have some things regarding Miami that might change your mind a little bit.
Okay, real quick, Elliott is still on injured reserve, so I don't think that's something that's going to be even at least another week or two before, because don't they have to put him in a 20-day window or a 21-day window off of injured reserve or something like that?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I don't think that's really a question right now. It's a good question, but definitely I would keep Ramsey at safety. I would do that. Is it me, or is Arthur Smith minimize the use of the tight ends? Just an observation. I haven't checked the boxer stats. Well, Chris, it's obvious you live out on the West Coast and you don't get all the media that we get out here. But it is not you. Arthur Smith, although I don't know that he would use the word minimized the use of the tight ends, but it's a perplexing question, especially when they have Pat Freiermuth, who seems to be, for some reason, in the offensive scheme doghouse for absolutely no reason whatsoever. Because he's rarely targeted. He only plays, in the teens, in the snaps, which means he's obviously not in the game plan. So I don't know. Jonnu Smith, I'm not sure he's made a connection with Aaron Rodgers. I think there's an issue there. And we know Darnell Washington is not the second coming of Shannon Sharp. He's just an interesting weapon that you should scheme in there, but I don't think he'll ever be a workhorse tight end. He's just a great option. Mike Lawrence, I was a little PO'd at Joey Porter for keeping about 2 Ratbirds drives alive with PO or PI, pass interference. Yeah, we talk about this all the time. Joey Porter.
Are you sure you want to get into this? This really sort of offends Hockey Jesus.
Well, I don't think I'm going to offend him. I think we talked about this a little bit yesterday. JPJ right now, he looks like he's progressed a little bit. He definitely does. The jury for me was out on him in the beginning of the season. I'm watching him this season, and he obviously has a style of play that where he is handsy. He's got to learn how to be handsy at the right moments. And there's an art to that. And I think he's actually starting to learn that better, and that he is getting the benefit of the time maybe that Slay was there. Ramsey is there. I mean, you've got guys that are bubble Hall of Famers or Hall of Famers, and they're in your ear, teaching you how to do this. There's no way to play cornerback in the NFL, not touch the guy. It's just not possible. It's just like how, when, and where. And I do think, and it's not a mea culpa yet, but I do think he's learning that. So he also had a couple great plays in this game, that one that saved a touchdown and another one, I off the top of my head, I can't remember. So, I wasn't mad at him. Now, I think we would have been mad at him if they lost the game because of one of his mistakes, but that's football. That's football. Go ahead, HJ, with the Miami stats that are going to make us cry.
Well, it's not so much Miami stats. It's Tua stats. So Tua is 0-7 when the weather is 46 degrees or less at kickoff. So,
right. Yeah, that's awesome.
It's definitely going to be less than 46 degrees at kickoff on Monday.
Right.
So, but he has had good games. Like, for example, he had a game in Buffalo in 2022 where he threw for 360 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. So his stats aren't terrible, but the team as a whole seems to lose because he usually does throw interceptions in cold weather games. So that could be a factor. Now, of course, it's always, well, sooner or later he's going to win one, right? So, is this the one that eventually he wins? But that's a good sign for the Steelers. If you're asking me, yeah, that's a good sign. He's never played in anything less than 27 degrees, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be colder than that on Monday night. So
great.
Does that include his time at Alabama?
No, this is just in the NFL.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So he may have won cold weather games at Alabama.
Yeah, but that's long gone.
Yeah, I don't think you count college games anymore.
Well, and I don't think.
Well, I'm just saying. What if he went up to Michigan and won?
Yeah, that's possible, but it depends on what time of year it was, and blah 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 blah. So here's an interesting comment from I believe one of our new subscribers. We picked up a couple already in this show, and I want to thank you for subscribing. The Sports Porch Black and Gold on YouTube. Hit that YouTube. That's a whole other site. Hit that subscribe button. Hit the notifications every Monday night, 7 p.m. Eastern time. We talk black and gold sports right here. We've been doing it a long time, and we're having a lot of fun, and we're growing, and we love it, and we love you. And then you can also listen to the podcast anytime you want. Spotify, iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, all that kind of stuff. Look how much money, I'm pretty sure that's what he means, they gave DK because the threat of Thielen and MVS, sorry that it took until week 14. Listen, that's something that I mentioned before the game yesterday. I started thinking about this when they signed Adam Thielen or picked him up off of waivers, and they elevated MVS from the practice squad. I had a feeling that this was something that Rodgers probably pushed for, because I think the issues that he's been having with Austin and or Roman Wilson and or Skoranek and or whoever you want to plug in there, we already know he's been having that. Go ahead, Schwaber.
Clearly, it's Roman Wilson that is the problem. Otherwise, because he's the one who was inactivated.
Right. Well, look how much man they gave DL is what he's saying because of the threat. Okay, so same thing. My apologies on that. Right. They played him man to man. They doubled him less. And Rodgers said he was doubled a lot. And now you've got, Thielen's not going to light the world on fire any more than Valdez-Scantling is. They're both probably definitely on the backside of their careers, but experience. They know how to run routes.
Thielen and Valdez-Scantling are not going to stop a double team.
Well, no, but what they're going to do is they are going to draw a little bit more attention, because I've been saying it all year, because the number twos in quotes that we have.
Why don't we just out you, Klein? You're a Thielen lover.
I have not been calling to sign him ever. I never mentioned him before.
He has to be, because Washington's out, right? Washington's injured. So
yeah.
So he's got to pick somebody new up.
You guys, you know what? Unbelievable. You would go there.
Well, only you would try to say that, like, Adam Thielen with his one catch for 5 yards and Valdez-Scantling and his no receptions on one play had an impact on this game. I'm sorry, they did not.
It's not about that. Just like this comment right here. Okay. No one is scared of Wilson and Austin.
I'm much more scared of Austin than either of those guys. Yeah, honestly, I think they should be throwing the ball to Austin more. When they threw it to him on that nice little go route, it was a great little play.
Yeah.
Let's see more of that.
All right, let's get some more people. We got a little debate going on here. Love it. Leave your comments.
I'm right. And it's okay. It's okay to be wrong.
Look,
TD, it's okay to be wrong. Just admit you're wrong.
Okay, fine. I'm wrong. Fine. Okay, I just want to move on. I'm tired of being wrong. You can't have any defense giving up 220 yards rushing, let alone the highest paid defense in NFL history. Story was cheapest offense in the NFL. Really overachieved. Steve Pickering, hit that subscribe button. Thanks for being here. Look, we have talked about this, and yeah, the defense did give up 200 yards. We are concerned. Miami's running game is not the worst in the world, and they're going to have to stop that guy. But the Fish coming up here to play in this super cold weather, it's just something about that. Fish here says Rodgers was fun watching, trying to orchestrate the low talent offense. Yeah, I mean, I don't know
is that a Dolphins fan, Fish?
I don't know. At Fish,
I think it could be.
Yeah,
Fish.
I don't know.
Reveal yourself, Fish. Are you a Steelers fan or a Dolphins fan?
Reveal yourself. I like that. But no, I mean, you had to really like the way Rodgers was trying to run that offense, especially when he knew that pass was going to be incomplete. And he said, "Come on, we got to hurry up to the line." And then the coaches were like, huddle up. And he was screaming at them after they threw the flag because he knew that they didn't have the first down. And I love it. I mean, only Rodgers can get away with that. You know what I mean?
Hey, only a true Yinzer will proudly state, no, I'm a Yinzer. So thanks for being here, buddy. Hopefully you'll click that subscribe button and notifications.
Isn't there a Central Catholic in every city?
Yeah, I don't know. Burger through and through, Central Catholic. He's part of the group. Central Catholic, the group.
Burger through and through. So he was at late night Wendy's in Bloomfield, huh?
Yeah, maybe. Well, if he's our age, he definitely was. He definitely was. Here you go. OJ the Wise, subscribe to the channel so we can all share in the discourse of our 7th Super Bowl victory somewhere in the future. Yeah, got you covered with the sub. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Listen, guys, a lot of new people hop on these shows now. We're concentrating a lot more on YouTube right now. We do put shorts out there. If you like them, if you don't, hit the email button, man. Send us an email. Tell us what you're thinking. Tell us whether you love us, whether you hate us. If you're listening on the podcast, leave us a review. Give us those thumbs up. Is Ritter's Diner still on Bum? Yes, it is. And the food is still exactly the same. Yep, it is.
And so are the waitresses.
Yes. That's not nice. They will never sponsor our show now.
I love it. I love a good diner waitress,
Oh, man.
They just throw the food on your table,
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Listen, man, so many blurry nights at Ritter's at 4 a.m. back in the day. Yeah, for me, best diner ever. Not best diner food. I don't know. That's debatable. But best diner ever. I mean, I live 4 blocks away. I mean, how could I not love that place?
Right.
So anyway, what else we got going on here as far as comments on this Steelers game? Laugh out loud, the Greek guys too. Yep, that's the big lie. Defense won the Super Bowl last year, yet the offense paid 2 wide receivers, running back, and quarterback. Dude, you couldn't be more wrong.
I'm sorry. Did Cooper DeJean not intercept the ball and run it back for a touchdown? Were there not 6 sacks?
Yeah,
calling me a liar?
I don't think he knows your background.
Listen,
as an avid.
Yeah. I was going to say let's clear something up for anybody who's just joined us for the first time. The Grant Schwabini here lives in Pittsburgh. We're lifelong friends, 35 years. We lived in Philadelphia together for college. The Yins are up here, Hockey Jesus. He's from Westmoreland County. I'm originally from this shitty town that I still love, by the way, in central PA called York, PA. Love to my York, PA people. It's really not that shitty. Somebody wrote a song about it. Anyway, and we all live here in Pittsburgh together. So the Grand Schwabini, he's originally from Philly. He's a Philly fan. He's an Eagles fan. He's a Flyers fan. He does have a show Tuesday nights that you should watch if you have any interest in Phillies, Sixers, Flyers.
The Steelers are my second team.
Yeah,
because my wife is a Steelers fan.
This must be
I root with her.
This must be my buddy Jeff Paulus, Shit Town. Yep, you got it, Jeff. He probably hopped over from Facebook over. Yeah, this is your buddy Jeff. Shit Town. That's what we call it from York. So see, new Dave the Hammer. Oh, who the hell are you? New Dave the Hammer. Hamrock.
Hamrock.
Did he know Hamrock? Who is this? Is this Kenny?
Is this Hambone?
No.
No, it's Fisher.
New Dave the Hammer. If you're from Philly, you know who he is. Schwaber.
It does sound familiar, but I can't recall.
Well, blew that one out of the water. Dave the Hammer Schultz.
The Hammer Schultz. That's right.
Yeah. Is he a wrestler?
Oh, okay. Flyers.
Is he a wrestler?
Oh, I don't know.
Flyers.
Oh my gosh.
All right. Back to the Steelers here. I kind of like Porter, Ramsey, Samuels at corner with Eccles and Pierre back up with Duger and Elliott at safety if he comes back. I got to tell you, I don't think our secondary is horrible. I think it's our front four. and our linebacking core. I think our secondary, if the front four could get a little bit more pressure, if they could stop the run better, if the linebackers had a little bit more speed and tackled better, and stayed in their gaps and stayed in their assignments, I think the secondary would be even better. So, Slay was the one, not to relive this whole thing, but Slay was the one that when I watched the Steelers secondary, the first 12 games he was in with them, I think he was out one of them, but he was the one who I would watch and be like, man, he is slowed down. Everybody else, it's kind of like, even Ramsey's not what he was at his peak, but he's around the play. He's around the ball. So,
I like the way you were breaking it down when the linebackers need to stay in their gaps. What's next? Do we need to teach the 3 technique?
Yeah, maybe. Are you surprised that I know something about football?
Yes.
You guys are crazy. We had a lot more success yesterday with a front 5 over a front 4. Agree or disagree? HJ, you want to take that one? Or go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Yeah.
No,
baseball game.
I agree, because they were essentially saying we're taking away the run and we're going to make you pass the ball. And they've been needing to do that for a while. And the only way that works is if they play that cover on the outside. And that's what they were doing. They were also rolling up the cornerbacks. So when they did that, Lamar couldn't check out and say, I'll just hit this guy for a 5-yard out. He had to make a decision. Do we try and pound it through that line, or do I have to decide to try and chuck it deep and see if that can happen? That's, I think, going to be a very similar scheme I think you'll see the Steelers do this week, because they got to put 5 or 6 guys, probably 7 or 8 guys in the box to stop the Miami run. So we'll see if they can do that, or if Tua is going to check out, or if the weather's too cold, his brain's going to freeze up and it won't matter. I think that's really what it comes down to.
Yeah. And my buddy Jeff here, he's bringing up something that is absolutely, and he knows is not true. Chris was our star running back at York Suburban High School.
Well, you know what I say? I love me a Bettis back, fat running back.
Yeah. Nice.
A fat back.
This was the extent of my football career. My first day in pads, I ran through that pad thing for running backs. They give you the ball and you run through it, and it like acts like people trying to tackle you. And I got a headache, and I was like, I'm out. I'm playing baseball from now on. I'm not going through this. I do have a story that I did tell to Steve and our friend Chuck last night at Kelly's in East Liberty in Pittsburgh about a certain walk that Jeff Paulus and I had on the beach in Myrtle Beach that ended in disappointment. So,
oh, right. Yeah, I remember that story. You said you were going to bring it up.
Yeah, well, I don't want to bring up the details of it because they don't matter, but Jeff will know exactly what I'm talking about. Just give me a thumbs up or something, Jeff. So, oh yeah, here we go. Laugh out loud. He knows exactly what I'm talking about. So anyway, look, hey, we got a Monday night game kicking in here for our resident Eagles / Steelers fan. And Fish says, wow, Kelly's has been there forever. You know what? It has been there forever. And this was the first time I ever went. And for anybody who knows me, that's like, what? It's like an institution in Pittsburgh. And I know it's a dive bar. It's a great place. It was a lot of fun.
Right next to Paris 66, right?
Right next to Paris 66. Right next, you got it. Mm-hmm. You got it. Pat says you were better in Dewey Beach. Yeah, maybe. No, Pat, you and Chuck were better in Dewey Beach. Let's get back to this here. Monday night game coming up. We got a Steelers game coming up. I want to thank you if you're watching right now on YouTube. Please, we got a bunch of subscribers this show. We're trying to get that to 1,000 subscribers as fast as we can. And people that really love us the way we love you. So thanks for hitting that subscribe button. Click notifications. You'll know when we're live every Monday night after or at 7 p.m. Eastern time. We're doing after a post-game show Monday night this coming week, ain't we? Ain't we, HJ?
Oh yeah, we're up all night, baby.
Is, right?
Goddamn, that's right. Because if I can stay up after 10:30 start for a hockey game, you guys better be able to stay up till at least 11:30, 12 o'clock for an 8:30 game.
Oh, hell yeah. Absolutely. Sure. Absolutely. Yep. We're going to have a good time with that. So post game, mark it down in your calendar. I'll send out some promotionals on the reels. Post game after the Dolphins Monday night Steelers game. Actually, we're going to do our show that night too. We're just gonna ball it out all night. We're gonna do the show, and then we're gonna come back after the game. It's gonna be a big football night here in the Sports Porch. Ooh. So we would love to see you there. Subscribe on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeart Radio app, anywhere you get your podcast. Last couple things on the Steelers right now. We're getting the first thing the Steelers need in the offseason is new DC. Fish says, and a new HC. Austin has no idea how to use this defense. Maybe Dan Marino will show up. I'll tell you what, guys. Water under the bridge on that. You know, this win against, and these guys don't even have to talk about this. I don't think this win changed anything as far as what we all think about where the defense is, where the offense is, coordinator-wise, Mike Tomlin, who runs the show. And if you want to hear more about how we think about this, just keep watching. You'll catch up.
Wouldn't it really be water over the bridge would be the problem?
No, water under the bridge means the bridge is fine, and this is just the way. Yeah, I guess you're right, Schwab.
Like if it's a tsunami, the bridge collapses because the water is over the bridge.
Yeah.
It's water under the bridge, water over the dam.
Does the shared love come? Does the shared love come with or without lube? I'm asking for a mechanic friend that can get a double check discount. Okay.
The lube's extra. The lube's
I'm going to say without.
Is it Porch Picks time? Is it Porch Picks time?
Yeah. It is Porch Picks time. That's what I've been trying to get to this whole time. What does that mean? Well, Porch Picks means every week we pick 3 games. We keep track of it to see who has the best record at the end of the year. And for some reason, at the end of this year, whether I'm a winner or a loser, I'm supposed to do something stupid just to call these guys out because they don't want to have like a prize or a booby prize, like if you're the worst or you're the best. So I'm going to set an example. I'm going to set an example at the end of this year.
Example every year.
I'm kind of scared. I think I should try to set an example, period. I seem to struggle.
Is the noose tightening on you?
No. All right. So far this year, last week, we did the Cowboys at Lions. I had the Cowboys. These two had the Lions. Bears at Packers. I had the Bears. These two had the Packers. I could have redeemed myself because my gut was telling me the Texans, but I was wrong because I picked the Chiefs with everybody else. So Mark and Steve were 2-1. I was 0-3. Wow, things are tightening up. I know I got this right. The Grand Schwabini has hopped into first place at 24-20. Your technical director,
longer than we all thought, but he got there.
Your technical director, 23-21, and HJ is a smooth, clean 500 at 22-22. This week's games, and we want your picks in the comments. This week's games, the first one is the Falcons at the Bills, or the Falcons at the Bucks, pardon me. Falcons at the Bucks. Your pick in the comments. Grant Schwabini, since you took the lead, you get to pick.
Hey, Mike Evans is back. It's the Bucks.
All right, Schwaber goes with the Bucks.
Tampa Bay has been playing like crap. Baker's been playing injured, but Bucky Irvin's back. I believe in Bucky. I believe in the Bucks.
Okay.
I gotta try to make up ground.
No, I gotta go with the Bucks on this one. I gotta go with the Bucks. Here's one. Bucks get back in the win column barely. So Thursday, Falcons at Bucks. That's all we got for that. Those are our picks. Next game is the Sunday game. Now this is a very interesting game because who'da thunk? Bills at Patriots. The Patriots look like the best team in football right now. Drake May is the real deal. What's your pick in the comments? Grand Schwabini, Bills at Patriots.
I got to be honest. I'm not a believer in either of these teams. Patriots, I just feel like, at some point Drake May is going to wake up and realize he's still got a lot to learn. And the Bills, how many weeks can they keep pulling off these victories without being very good? I am going to say, just playing the numbers here, I'm going to go home team. I'm going to say New England wins.
All right. Grand Schwabini says the Pats.
I don't like either team, though.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I believe in the Buffalo Bills. I just feel like they know the Kansas City's not going to be in it this year. I think that's going to give them a little spark. I guess I'm just not a Drake May guy. Just don't see it. I know he's all that, but I'm going with Buffalo.
Steve goes with the Bills. I'm going with the Pats. I'm a Drake May guy, boys. I am a Drake May guy. I 100% think that he is the real deal. Fish, Pat off track will love this comment. Marv Levy syndrome. All right. Last game of this week, Sunday night, a barn burner. The Vikings at the Cowboys. Your pick in the comments. The Vikings are kind of out of it. The Cowboys
they played well last week, didn't they?
They played against a Commanders team that is gutted, injuries, blah, blah, blah. These guys are Jeff says tie.
Yeah, I hate to have to do this, but I'll have to go with the girls.
Okay. Mark is going with the Cowboys. HJ.
I actually think this one's a good candidate for the tie game, but maybe like 35-35 and nobody can find a way to score in overtime.
Right.
But I'll take Dallas.
Yeah. I'm just going to have to go Dallas too. I just don't see, every game for Dallas is now a must-win game. Every game is. And Minnesota is going to reset. OJ, Vikings win in a thriller as George Pickens runs the wrong way and scores the winning TD for them. Hey, listen,
that would mean he would be running. Maybe walk.
Yeah, that's true.
Walk the other way.
It's a walk.
It is interesting though, with all the blasting that Pickens took this week. Do you think Pickens responds well, or do you think this starts the implosion?
We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, I don't know. He everything was going great, and then now we'll see.
He just stopped running.
Yeah. Welcome to it. All right, now, look, Grant Schwabini, do you want to leave so you can prepare for your mighty Eagles to hopefully crush the LA Chargers?
Game starts at 8:15. I'm fine.
All right, so you've got a little time. You got time for the HJ, or do you want to get? You want to see?
Or did you want to just send me on my way, or are you?
No. I was
my commentary.
I was allowing you.
Call you a fat running back.
Yeah, I get it. Well, now that you said that, get the hell off my screen. No, I was extending a courtesy to you because, we all know how superstitious you are about games and wins and losses. I'm sure you have a wardrobe change you have to go through. I'm sure you have certain food you have to prepare. You have to set the pillows on the couch the same way. You got to make sure the dog is panting at the right, at the right timing. Amy's got to have the same blanket as she always does. Yeah, you're laughing because this shit is true.
The Amy in the blanket is probably correct.
Yeah.
Everything else was a little off.
Yeah. So I was extending the courtesy for you to bow out now instead of ducking out later.
Well, isn't that kind of you? What a good pal.
Well, and I was also setting you up to maybe not have to listen to an entire Hockey Jesus, because that's probably what we're going to do next.
Hey, don't pull me away from my Wotherspoon update.
There you go. That's
all
right, Mark.
All right, guys. This guy up here, okay? This guy up here, he's Hockey Jesus. All right. And I get more and more respect for him every single day, because Hockey Jesus preaches on the podcast after every single Penguins game, right after the game, no matter what time it's on, East Coast, West Coast, mid country. What do they call that? What do they call it?
It's
Midwest.
Called the Midwest.
Thank you. That's kind of where we are almost. Yeah. Anyway, so,
yes, we're in the Eastern country.
And he does a great job, and he's building a following, and you can follow him at the YouTube, on our YouTube page at the Sports Porch Podcast, and click notifications after every game. He gives you great analysis, highlights, and stuff like that. HJ, take it away, because you had one yesterday. There's one coming up when? Thursday?
No, they play Tuesday.
Or Tuesday, right, tomorrow. So what's going on? Give us an update.
Well, the last time I left us, Pittsburgh was playing in Philadelphia. They were playing Philadelphia in Philadelphia. I think we were actually watching that game live last Monday, and they ended up winning that game. And
5-1,
they actually just they've been playing really good. They played Philadelphia, they played Tampa, they beat Tampa, and they probably should have won that game in Dallas last night, but gave up a late goal on kind of a mistake of who was out on the ice late in the game, and they scored the goal. The old goalie goal, the pull the goalie, score a goal situation. And, of course, we all know the Pittsburgh Penguins can't win a game in a shootout if they tried. They're 0-4 this year. They're 0 for their last 8. I think Schwaber and I were looking at that before the show started. I think you actually have to go back to the 2003 season to find a win from a shootout for the Pittsburgh Penguins. So I think it's time. I think it's time to change some of the shooters out. I know, you always put Crosby out there and Letang, and Gino was actually hurt against Dallas, so he didn't go out there. I think it's time to just throw some new blood in there. Why not? Let's see what Rutger McGroarty can do. Let's see what Kindle can do in the shootout, because they got to change something. It's just ridiculous. But overall, the Pittsburgh Penguins are playing really well, and they're getting healthy. They got Brazeau back. He plays on the second line with Gino. And the only guy that's not out there yet is Raquel, and he's going to be out for probably 3 or 4 more weeks. But they got Noel Acciari back. He's the fourth line center. They're going to have some decisions to be made once everybody's healthy, because I think Kevin Hayes has no chance at being on this roster. I really hope they try and get rid of him. The big talk right now in Pittsburgh, and it's actually not just in Pittsburgh, it's in Edmonton, is supposedly there was a trade on the block for Jarry to go to Edmonton. Did you hear about this, Schwaber?
I did not. No.
Yeah, supposedly Edmonton was inquiring about Jarry, because Jarry's playing lights out so far this year. And the problem is Edmonton's already $2 million over the cap. So they can't possibly add $6 million. So that means we would have to either eat some of his salary or take somebody that they have there who's really expensive and take on one of their guys like that. And would they probably throw in Calvin Pickard too, who's their backup goalie with Skinner. It's dumb because that would never happen because they don't have the cap space. So I think Dubas was just throwing it out there to see what the interest is. I don't think the Penguins have any interest in trading Jarry, which is absolutely hilarious, because if you were here last year at this time, basically Jarry was being sent down to the minor leagues. He was playing so poorly. And now he's playing lights out and everybody wants him. And it's amazing. It's amazing what a difference a coach can make. And he's got his confidence back. He played he made some really unbelievable saves. If you go back and just watch the highlights of that Dallas game, he robbed Robertson 3 or 4 times, so much so I know that Robertson was seeing Jari in his nightmares last night, because he just couldn't get the puck past him. And he had probably 3 or 4 grade A opportunities right in the slot. So Penguins are playing well. They're right now they're going to be on a 5-game homestand. They're playing Anaheim, Montreal, San Jose, Utah, and Edmonton, which is kind of wild because there's only one East Coast team in there. So you want to win your home games, but you really want to win those home games against Eastern Conference teams. The fact that they're playing 4 Western Conference teams, I'm kind of about whether how much they have to win. At this point, they just have to hold serve. Win 1, lose 1 is fine for right now. But I think they could actually put that. So they have 5 of the last 6 points that they've played because they got the loser point in Dallas. I think they could go on a roll here. But Anaheim's a good team. I really am interested to see what they do against Montreal on Thursday. That's the game I'm circling because I like Montreal. They're young. They're fast. They're talented. I think it'll be interesting to see what they can do when they come here to Pittsburgh on Thursday night. But other than that, that's what's going on in the world of hockey.
All right. So tomorrow night after the Pens game, live right here at the Sports Porch Podcast on YouTube, then dropped in the podcast on Spotify, iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, anywhere you get your podcasts. And I ain't even going to talk Pirates. Don't worry. We ain't talking Pirates right now for a little while either.
Schwarber.
Yeah.
They did make an official offer for Schwarber.
They're saying
at least that's what they said.
They're saying they did.
What's the only problem is that the offer is the same offer that Schwarber signed 4 years ago with the Phillies.
There you go. So did they really make an offer for Kyle Schwarber?
Way to go. Now we had to talk about the Pirates.
Yep. Sorry, guys. That was Hockey Jesus, who preaches on the podcast, as I've said many times, right after every single Penguins game.
Amen.
All right.
Peace be with you.
Now we're going to do something that, AI is, it's confusing to all of us. And, I wanted to ask it some questions. I wanted to see if we could answer some of those things out there in the world that, wow, once in a while, the answer's right in front of you and you didn't even know. I mean, who'd have thought that eggs were good for you? Who'd have thought that blueberries had properties that could possibly, cure diseases way back in the day? Who'd have thought that fat would be the way to lose weight? Who'd have thought that at all? So I decided that I was going to ask this AI video creator that I'm experimenting with us to augment our reels in the future. I would ask it, what if farts cured cancer? What if farts cured cancer? And as soon as we get rid of that comment,
that's a great comment, by the way, don't you think?
That is true. Schwabini Schwarber is unstoppable.
It could be comment of the year.
Okay, it could be. So what happens if farts cured cancer? Let's see.
Imagine a world where farts could cure cancer. Scientists discover unique properties in flatulence that fight tumors. Different farts might target specific cancers. Would fart billionaires emerge from this discovery? Imagine the market for fart products. Fart would become a trend. Would there be fart competitions? Fart scientists would be the new rock stars. What about fart insurance? Education on fart health would be essential. Would we embrace fart culture? Farts could change the world.
All right. So apparently, that's what happens if farts can cure cancer. The entire outlook for the world is going to change. The only thing about that is when he said if farts could change the world one laugh at a time, I wish he would have said farts would change the world one fart at a time. I think that would have made it a little bit funny.
Well, it was AI, so you have to check for accuracy.
Okay, here we go. Last part of the show. Fusel DD says people would be sniffing each other's chairs. There you go. Struck a chord, struck a vein, whatever you want to say. Hit that subscribe button. Thanks for being here at the Sports Porch Podcast on YouTube. Click notifications. Every Monday night, we're live at 7 p.m. Eastern time, and we do a post-game show after the Steelers game, one coming up next Monday night. This is the last part of the show, guys. What the hell we are watching? What do we do here? Well, you dedicate a lot of time to us, so we try to give some of that time back to you. We search high and low through all of the streaming services that we have available to us at our fingertips these days, and we decide what you should watch and what you shouldn't watch, saving you from going through trailer after trailer after trailer. It's our gift back to you. This week, we'll start with mine this week. This week, I completed Barry, season 5 on HBO Max. Barry is the story of a man who was a Marine, in the armed forces. Not sure if he was a Marine or not, but served over in the Middle East and came back, got hooked up with some dude and became a hitman, moved to LA, and then decided he wanted to get out of being a hitman and be an actor. And life did not play out the way he thought. 5 seasons. I do recommend it. One thing I would say is that the last season for me did get a little dark. Would you agree, Schwaber?
Yeah, I would agree with you. To me, it was like the first 3 seasons were excellent. The 4th season was okay, and the 5th season was eh.
Well,
That's kind of what I thought.
I think the big thing about the 5th season for me is that it got so dark. I wasn't ready to dive off that cliff. Like you could tell through seasons 3, 2, well, not 2, but into 3 and 4 that things weren't going to end well. You know what I mean? So, but then the darkness of it kind of threw me. Still thought it was good. Definitely worth a watch. Henry Winkler is absolutely incredible. The guy that plays NoHo Hank is an absolute riot. I mean, I think the casting up and down in this one was really, really good.
Really good.
And
by the way,
absolutely worth it.
Before we move on to Steve, I sent you mine just if you want to put it in while Steve's doing his.
Okay. So then why don't I let's just pull in HJ's what we're watching. This is something that I actually do want to watch. There you go, HJ.
So I've been watching. Actually, I watched the whole thing in essentially one day. Death by Lightning. This was on Netflix. This is what I call a docudrama, I guess. It's kind of like history. I don't think there's much fiction in it, but everybody always takes some liberties to show history how they want to show it. This is a story about the 20th president of the United States, James Garfield, how he was elected to be president, kind of his home life before he became president, and it's essentially, and he was the first president. Well, not the first president. He was assassinated by some guy basically in a train station, and so they show their 2 lives only from like a brief point, like 6 months before the assassination. The guy who shot him was Charles Guiteau. He was played by Matthew McFadden. He was fantastic. I mean, he was I think the acting in this was just great. Some of the side actors were Nick Offerman. You might know him from Parks and Recreation. He played Chester Arthur, who became James Garfield's vice president nominee. 2 completely different guys. I mean, and it was pretty wild how they brought it all together. The thing that I learned, and this is history, so I'm not giving anything away, but the thing that I learned or relearned was that James Garfield got shot, but the shot itself wouldn't have killed him because it didn't hit any major organs or anything. But the way they tried to get the bullet out of his system caused sepsis inside of his system, and he basically died from the infection from trying to dig the bullet out of him. Yeah. So he died 6 months into the presidency, and that's it. It ends like that. They don't really show you anything. They don't show you what Chester Arthur did. They kind of give you the Cliff Notes version of what happened after he died and what happened to his family members and stuff like that. But the acting was great. If you love anything about United States history, including presidents, this is 100% a show you have to watch. I believe it's only three episodes. So really it's a quick watch. They're each about an hour and 10 minutes. 100% 2 thumbs up. This is probably better to me than House of Guinness. So,
all right, awesome. We got to move on. We got to move on. What the hell are we watching? Let's get the Grand Schwabini's in here before he's got to leave, and we got to shut it down for this Monday night. I want to watch this Monday night game. So the Grand Schwabini has watched something. I'm not sure what it's on. What is it on, Grand Schwabini?
Well, it was in the theaters this week, but it will be on Netflix. Okay. It will be on Netflix on Friday. It's a Netflix made film.
Right.
And have you guys seen the Knives Out series? I think this is the third one.
No, I have not.
Yes, I have. Yep.
Yeah, and it's pretty good. You know, it's sort of like it's another Sherlock Holmes type of who done it type of thing. And I'll tell you what, the cast is incredible. I mean, you've got Daniel Craig, of course, is the inspector or whoever they call him. You've got Josh Brolin, a Klein favorite.
Yeah, I love Josh Brolin.
He plays the Monsignor who is murdered. And then you have Glenn Close is in it. You have Mila Kunis is in it. I mean, it just goes on and on. There's a lot of really good people in this. And actually, I thought it was probably the best of the three. I really thought it was very good. Yeah, it was really good. It was kind of like cool because they sort of made like this almost like impossible murder. It's like the Monsignor basically, goes into this little side area while, the, I guess, assistant priest is preaching, and he dies in there. And it's like, how in the world did he die in there? Impossible murder. Impossible murder.
All right.
And it was pretty cool. I just enjoyed it. I think anybody who likes a whodunit will enjoy it greatly.
There you have it. Wake Up the Dead Man, a Knives Out mystery.
Mm-hmm.
And it should be on Netflix very soon. Friday. Hey, listen, guys, everybody who has commented and joined us on the show today, I 100% want to thank you for being here. This has been the Sports Black and Gold on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button, please. We would love that. Click notifications every Monday night, live, 7 p.m. Eastern time. You can catch up on the podcast, HJ After the Pens games, iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, anywhere you get your friggin' podcasts. ogsportsporch@gmail.com. That's our email. We'll see you after the Steelers game on Monday night, And remember, catch us on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. We got all our reels coming out. For the Grand Schwabini, for Hockey Jesus, I'm your TD, your technical director, and I am out. Giblons.